So did you type this out?
I did, all by myself.
So this is your own recipe, or is it cookie dough?
No, it's my own recipe, this one. It's my Christmas cake. As you know, we have this every year and family love it. And I've typed it up. It's on my blog now, so everyone can print it out and read all the notes that I've attached to it and become an expert in making Christmas cakes and tweaking it to suit your own needs. Hi everyone, welcome to Colette's Thermi Kitchen. My name is Colette Matriga. I am a Thermomix consultant and I love my job. I look after well over 700 customers that have bought Thermomixes from me, thank you. And if you're looking to get a TM6, please reach out. I'd love for you to be one of my customers too.
The black one's still available?
Black ones are still available, but not for long. They are really getting fairly low. So this month you can get the black. You get the extra bowl blend lid for just $29. And
I thought that offer finished last month.
It's still running on this month because it went so well.
Oh.
And also the upgrade for the TM5. So let me know. And if you've got your black already or your white TM6, you know how fabulous it is. Share the news with everyone and just reach out. Okay, Christmas cake time. So 7 weeks to Christmas. So usually about week 7, week 8 is when I make my Christmas cake. You can do it in advance of that if you want to, but this is what I've kind of done most years. And it's a straightforward recipe that's easy to adapt to your own tastes. And we've got a choice of decorating it or not decorating it, but more about that later. So the recipe is now up on my blog, which is colettesthermikitchen.com. So if you head there, you'll be able to print out the actual step-by-step recipe. And there are lots and lots of notes that will actually, I guess, help in your knowledge about making the perfect Christmas cake for you. So let's get going. So the very first thing we're doing, now some of you are cooking along with me, which is really exciting.
Look, I have to ask, there's Ness Crompton is looking at this, and is Ness short for something?
Ness.
I just wondered whether at school, Ness, did they call you Lock for short?
Oh, Andrew, that's not nice. That is not nice. Okay, we'll have a word with you later, young man. Okay, so now some of you are following along. If you start to get lost,
oh, Vanessa, of course it is.
Put out in the comments and Andrew will just tell me to slow down a little bit. All right, so the first thing we're going to do...
Not necessarily.
Andrew, we need to focus.
Only if they say please.
Because people are cooking along. So
oh, are they?
Distractions might
oh, okay. I didn't... Why you didn't tell me that?
I know.
Okay.
He's been warned, ladies. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our green apple. And I've cored it already and left the skin on. And I'm just going to chop that each quarter in half, pop it into the Thermomix bowl. Now I love the apple because it introduces more moisture into the Christmas cake, and of course that apple flavour is just beautiful. So the apple has gone in, and what we're going to do, we're working manually here. I'm going to pop the lid on, I'm going to take the measuring cup out, and I'm going to go into our mode and I'm going to hit the turbo button. And I'm just going to position this on top and then I'm going to take a peek. Because what we want, we don't want this chopped down to a watery pulse. We just want it chopped down. Don't panic if it is a watery pulse, it will still be fine. So into our turbo function, and I need to get my glasses on. Here we go, turbo. And what I'm going to do is literally, I want to control it, so I'm going to go to the half a second blast. Half a second, hitting on the turbo function and turning the button. Now I'm going to take a peek. Oh, I'm going to go once more because I've got a few big chunks. I'll show you what I've got. Let's go home after turbo. So big chunks there. So not quite, and the likelihood is we will end up with a couple of big chunks, but not quite that big. So that was half a second. And we are going to repeat that for another half second. Yours might be done now if you're cooking along, so just judge it and have a look. So back into our turbo, and half second, and I think that's probably going to be fine. Perfection.
Just wondering, all those watching, are you seeing this clearly? Because we've only got 8 people at the moment live.
Ooh.
Never seen so low numbers.
Interesting. Well, there might be more cooking along with this actually. I have got it on the right page, haven't I? Back home, maybe a lot of people will be making.
Just seen a couple of messages saying people are waiting on Zoom for your cook along.
Okay, this is. There's no Zoom link. I don't know where they get the link from, but it's a Facebook Live, so that means it's here on Facebook. But we'll just continue, and those people can look at it afterwards and view it afterwards. Okay, so let's just have a little look at what I've got there. So that's kind of chopped down. I'm happy with that. There is, that's a fairly big lump, but I'm not worried about that. What we're now going to do is we are going to pop this into a little bowl. I'm just going to grab a bowl. We're going to set it aside. Okay, so just popping that to one side. Apple all done. Fantastic. And then I'm just going to, because it's apple, I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of lemon on top, just to help it not go so brown. And just cover that up, and we will go back to that in a minute. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to use the same bowl, and I'm going to pop into the bowl 250 grams of butter that I've cut into little cubes, and we're just going to melt it. So into the Thermomix bowl. Okay, perfection. And lid goes on, measuring cup goes on. And basically we're now going to melt that, and 4 minutes usually is what I do. We don't want to melt it at a high temperature, we want to stick to that lower temperature. So 4 minutes at 80 degrees, 60 degrees probably for butter, 60 degrees. I should look at my recipe, shouldn't I? 60 degrees on speed 2. And that'll take about 5 minutes. Alright, any comments there, Andrew?
Just a lot of people can't get on for some reason.
You can't get on to where?
To this.
To Facebook.
Well, I'm seeing, not on this live, I'm seeing messages coming through saying can't get on, can't get on.
They pop it up. I don't understand. Oh.
This is saved, isn't it? This goes to your...
Yeah, it'll be on Facebook after this, so people can have a check on it then.
Yeah, there you go.
Interesting. All right. So while that's happening, let's line our tin. And what we're going to do is going to grab some baking paper and our tin. Oh, excuse me, guys.
So Lynette asked, will you be putting the receipt up, please?
The receipt?
I think she needs recipe.
Oh. Yeah, the recipe's on my blog. It's on my blog.
Yeah, once you send us the money, Lynette will send you the receipt.
All right, so I usually do it in a 20 centimetre tin. This is the Mix Shop one, and that's perfectly good to use, the springform tin. I'm going to make it in a slightly higher tin this year, but it doesn't really matter what size tin you choose to use. But what we want to do is we need to line our tin. So the first thing we're going to do is grab some baking paper, and we just want to make sure that we have enough to go all the way around. And I'm just going to chop that off. And I'm just checking with this one. Yeah, that should be okay. And I'm going to fold it over because I want a double layer of baking paper. And this is going to help the tin not brown so much because it's in the oven for a long time. So that's absolutely fine. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that inside. Before I pop it inside, what I'm going to do, I've got an old butter cover, and I keep these if there's butter on them and pop them in the freezer, and they're great for lining your tins. So I'm just going to use this and go around that tin, and this is going to help the paper stick nicely to it. Perfect. Right. So my double layer of baking paper is going to go inside. Okay, so I've got way too much here. So I'm going to cut off that excess. Now, one of the things you can do if you want to, on the bottom with your scissors, you can just go around and cut just the little bits in there. I've got all flummoxed because everyone's gone to Zoom.
Yeah, you've only got 13 people. I've never seen such low numbers.
There's a lot more that booked in, but okay. Right.
You're flummoxed.
Yeah, well, I'm flummoxed too. It's disappointing, but never mind. So on we go. And then those little bits that I've just cut, I'll show you in a second, can just sit comfortably on the bowl. Can you see that on the bottom? You've got like a little feety area. Now you do want your baking paper to come up over that tin. Alright, so that's important. And then the other thing you can do, which I like to do, is to take another layer of baking paper. Because it is in the oven for a long time. I'm going to fold that over again. And you're going to just basically fit that round the outside of your cake pan. You can actually buy special liners for this that are made out of fabric. And then I'm just going to get some kitchen
What's that?
string. I was in your buzz. I did an orientation this morning with my new customers, and that's one of the sounds. I was just showing them about the different sounds that they can make up with the Thermomix.
I don't like that.
You don't know, you don't like that one. I don't like it either. I just didn't change it back. I like the original.
I like the guitar one.
Alright, so that's just round the outside, and that's purely just to help it not brown so much. And then I'll come back to this one in a second. So what we've got is the inner lining, the outer lining, and I have to do the bottom, which I'll do in a second. So our butter now is melted. Okay, butter is all nicely melted. And what I am going to do is to...
Isn't it clever, isn't it? It's chopped, it's melted.
I know, it's so good. I'm now going to add into this some other ingredients. So I'm going to add into this the apple that we did earlier. So the apple has gone in. Beautiful. And I'm going to add in there 250 grams of brown sugar. I'm using dark brown sugar because I love that caramelized taste, but you could use light brown sugar, absolutely. Doesn't matter what sugar you use really. So 250 grams of sugar has gone in. And then the Christmas spice blend, which is a blend that's on cookie dough, and it's got all those wonderful Christmas nutmeg, cinnamon, all those kind of allspice, etc. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of this in here for now, and I'm going to taste it later and see if I want to add any more. If you haven't got this spice blend, just put maybe 2 teaspoons of nutmeg, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and another spice that you have, cardamom, ground cardamom, that kind of thing, and that will be nice.
So you've got Colette Kennedy watching. Is that one of your Kennedys?
Yeah. Colette Kennedy?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, it could be. Is that my auntie Colette?
Don't know. Spelled with 1 L.
Yeah, that could be my... Hey, Colette from Ireland. Okay, so the butter has gone in, and the spice mix. I've got a teaspoon of salt going in there as well. And then I've got the zest of an orange. Now, we can zest this quite quickly and zest it in advance, but I love to actually use my small microplane for zesting, and there's something I did want to show you. Now, when most people will zest, they will zest like this and then move it. And the problem with doing that is you're not going to get all the zest. What you actually want to do is you want to hold the orange steady, and the only thing that's going to move is going to be this. So you can see exactly what you're doing, and you're going to get all of that zest off. So just to no, it's a great little tip, Andy. If you're a cook, it's a great tip. So I want to show you. I mean, look at that zesting, guys. That is fully zested.
You're getting a lot of messages saying, well, I'm waiting for Facebook Live, or waiting for Zoom, or...
Waiting for Facebook Live?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it recording?
Just that?
Is it recording okay?
We got 16 people on here. People are saying they can see it, but I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay. All right, so round we go. Ah, This is such a good tip. It's much, much better. It's a perfectly zested orange. Okay. So the zest of an orange going in there as well. And that's going to add that beautiful citrus to this Christmas cake. Okay.
No. You naughty girl.
I was very gentle.
Don't tap the bowl.
Okay, last little bit, that's fine. So that's a beautifully zested orange, lovely jubbly. Put that to one side and
That's better.
there we go. So just check my little list, I've got my recipe there, but just checking it all. So in here we've got the sugar, the spice, the zest, and then the last thing I need to introduce into that is the fruit mix itself. So this is a mix of fruit, and you can see here.
Okay. It's kind of like rubbing your tummy and patting you've wad. I don't know what that
I know
means.
you already do it.
You've
the other
what?
way around. Okay, so look guys, what I've got here is my fruit mix.
Sorry,
now
Mum.
you can use a packet fruit mix, or you can make up your own. So we love to put like lots of glass of cherries in there. Andrew doesn't like peel, so I don't use peel.
I like glacier cherries.
And I've got figs in there and prunes and currants and raisins. So you put into it whatever you want. You need a kilo of fruit, and then that has been marinating in 250 grams of a mix of brandy and Cointreau, but you could use all brandy, whatever you want to. Now, just to show you what the difference is, the reason why we marinate, let me just show you. Okay, let's see if I can too much here.
There's some nice comments about your hair.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
On a few people. So this one here is still dry, not very plump. This is so moist and just beautiful.
I tried that one.
And this one won't be so nice. So all done, and you can see all the liquid has gone into that fruit. So that's kind of what.
So why does that one taste so good?
Because it's been marinating overnight
In what?
brandy.
Oh. Okay, that's why it tastes so good.
That kilo is now going in. So just to recap, in the bowl we've got the melted butter, the orange juice, the Christmas spice mix, the fruit's now going in, the zest of an orange, the apple had gone in, and a bit of salt. And
squeeze a lemon.
And the squeeze of lemon, just mainly to stop the apple from growing too brown. So I'm just going to give that a little mix. Now, whenever you're making this cake, I want you to be cognizant of the maximum fill line. It is a big, heavy cake.
You want to be what?
I want you to make sure you don't go above the maximum fill line. All right, so there you go. You can see it's heavy and all the rest of it. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to get the Thermomix to work all that together for us. And I'm going to go here for 5 minutes. 5 minutes at 80 degrees. On reverse, obviously, we don't want it all chopped up, at speed number 1. And then, that's fine. Sometimes what you might need to do is to get your spatula and just give it a little bit of a hand. So, well, you do that because it's a heavy mix, just give it a little hand now and again just to move that around. Okay. So as that then starts to warm up, I'm going to finish off my tin. And I'm also going to put my oven on to 140 degrees fan.
It's got a message from Jeanette. I don't understand it. Again, it says it's no 5.
It's no 5.
Okay, all right. Have a swig of beer, my dear. You're into it.
Alright. So I now need to just line the base of my tin. So all I need to do is take a square of the top. I'm sure you all know how to line. Just going to fold this. And just keep folding it. And folding it once more.
You're going to make a butterfly or a jumping frog? Little origami happening?
And then all I'm going to do is kind of estimate where the middle is, and then I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm going to open it out. And I have my little circle. And then all I need to do with my butter paper is to put a little bit more on this. And that will hold in the base of my cake nicely. So my cake tin is well and truly wrapped and lined, ready to be in the oven for 3 to 3¼ hours. Perfect. Alright, so we've still got a couple of minutes there. How many people on now, Andrew?
14.
There's something definitely gone wrong.
Yeah.
Never mind. We've got the recording, I can sort this out afterwards.
So Jeanette clarified her question. She originally said it's number 5, but she says 0.5, did you say 1?
0.5. 0.5. Yeah, 0.5 works really well. Okay.
Oh, something smells good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful mix. It is good. So I'm just going to give that a little hand. Just mixing that through. Beautiful.
So Colette's just returned from a trip to Sydney.
Oh yeah, me.
yeah, Colette. Okay.
I'm stopping this halfway through and I'm going to give it a good old turn with my spatula.
She won a competition with Thermomix for a... is it 3 nights? 2 nights?
2 nights in Sydney, and it was just amazing. The company is such a generous company, and absolutely fabulous. You know, the incentives, the treats, and all the rest of it that they give us.
Culminated at a dinner at Nell's.
Yeah, which was fabulous as well.
Degustation of how many courses?
9 courses. Fabulous.
And she brought back nothing.
I brought you back some chocolates.
Oh, she made some chocolates, that's true.
Okay, so that's all happening there. Now, is anyone following along with me? Those few people that are on
All
here?
14 people.
I know, it's very bizarre. I just hope I haven't gone to my non-Thermomix page. But I can copy it and post it down.
So what else did you do in Sydney?
All sorts. We just went, had the best pastries ever.
Oh, I saw your
chocolate
pictures.
making. We went to the head office.
The croissants were nice.
Croissants were seriously good, seriously good. And the restaurant now is just out of this world. I mean, how great was it that, you know, there was only, I can't remember, about 10 consultants from Australia and New Zealand, and there was only 2 from Australia, the rest were in New Zealand. Come on, Aussies. And, you know, Bianca came to that as well from Perth. And Bianca's, you know, Grace's daughter, and she has a hugely busy job within the company, managing everything. But she still found time to come and join us consultants and listen to us and chat with us. And I think that's absolutely fabulous. You know, those family values travel throughout the company, and it's great, absolutely great.
Free dinner.
No, not at all. Fish gives a lot of good things. Anyhow, so let's just talk about what's happening next. So next we're going to be...
Oh, Miriam says she's cooking along. One person is.
Oh, so you're keeping up, hopefully?
One person, Miriam. Anyone else cooking along?
Yeah, I know there are lots planning to cook along, so I've got no idea where they are. All right. So what we now need to do is I like to take this mix, have a little look how gorgeous that is looking.
So Mia said it's on your personal page you've loaded this up on.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, how annoying. So what I will do then is I will transfer the video onto my main page afterwards. I'll do that straight after, so that's fine. That will solve.
Oh, that explains that.
Yeah. All right. So this is the mix, and what I'm going to do is now put this into a big bowl, which is fine. Thermomix bowl, and then you need to clean your Thermomix or get a second bowl. How annoying that I did that. But before we do that, have a look at how moist and beautiful that is looking. What we need to do, you know, it's really important to do this and taste as you go along. Now, I'm not going to add any more spice to that.
That was so good. Use a fresh spoon. Oh, that's too much. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
I think that balance is lovely. I'm loving the orange flavour that's coming through there.
That is brilliant.
Tasty and moist and lovely. Okay.
God, how many flavours can you sample there?
Lots, isn't there? And this is what's going to make this cake super
I
moist.
should have had more now. That was
Super moist and beautiful. So I'm going to grab an extra bowl. And Thermomix bowls.
that is so good. You know, it's sweet, but it's not sickly sweet. It's sort of a very fruity sweet, isn't it? And there's just some different flavours that sort of explode in your mouth when you try that. And it's just so moist as well. That is gorgeous.
Okay, so fresh clean bowl, really important. And in this bowl, what we're going to do is we're going to just aerate and mix the flour. So I've got 150 grams of self-raising flour, 150 grams of plain flour, and 2 tablespoons of your favourite cocoa. So mine's a really rich dark cocoa with a little acidity, but use whatever cocoa you want. And of course, you know, the Thermomix, use the scales to actually weigh that. But in they go. And what we're going to do is I'm going to pop on that lid. And to aerate that, we'll sieve it back into our turbo function. I use turbo such a lot. And I'm just going to give that a couple of 1 second blasts. Remember to make sure your measuring cup is on. Okay, that's all it needs. Okay, it's up to me back home. So you see now how that cocoa's been thoroughly mixed in. So if you didn't do that, you know, you're going to have clumps of all sorts of things happening in there.
Have you changed that bowl yet?
I did, I changed the bowl.
I did. So all of that, just 2 bowls. Is that great?
All right, now to this we're going to add the rest of our cake mixes. So what we're going to add into this is 4 eggs. Okay. Where's my measuring cup's gone? Okay, yep, there's 1. So 4 eggs going in, for those that are following.
Why do you put them in that lid, not straight into the...
Just in case there's one bad. I don't want to impact on everything that's in there.
Clever.
So 4 eggs gone in. And this is already going to be dirty, so that won't matter at all. And then I'm also going to add in, just to bring out more flavour, 3 lovely tablespoons of marmalade. So popping that in.
The message is going out that people are telling each other it's on the other Facebook page. On the other page. Now we're going out. Now we're up to 30 now. People keep coming on saying, just found it. Been waiting on the other site.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I will repost this whole thing on the Facebook page as soon as we finished, and then you can actually go ahead and make it. And the recipe, for those that have just come on, is all up on my blog. So super easy for you to go. So basically all I've got into there is the flours, 150 grams of plain, 150 grams of self-raising, 2 tablespoons of cocoa and 4 eggs, and 3 tablespoons of marmalade. So on with the lid, and then I'm just going to 10 seconds should be enough for this. 10 seconds at speed number 5.
I don't like that sound. It's like something from Butlin's camp. Heidi, hi everyone. Or maybe that's why you've done it.
Okay, so that's exactly as I wanted. And now what we need to do, I'm going to incorporate this into here. And you need to make sure that this is cooled down quite nicely. So you don't want to introduce this into it when it's hot. And it's going to be hard initially to mix it together, but it will come together quite happily.
Are you going to fold it in?
No, I'm just going to mix it through, but I don't want to mix it too much.
So you fold it vigorously. I like it when you fold stuff like that. It's good. All right, sorry, Belinda. It's an effort to find you guys.
Oh no, my fault.
This is the stealth live.
But I'll stick it back up there. It'll go back up on the page. I'll transfer.
Bernie says heap of people in your Thermomix page.
Oh. Can someone go to my Thermomix page and put a message there to say?
I think they've done that.
You've done that. You guys are awesome. Okay. Alright, so just popping this down, and then what we're going to do is literally just kind of mix this through. So I know it's hard to begin with, but it does all come together. So really, you can see how little cake mixture is in this. Very little compared to the actual moistness of all of that beautiful filling.
I like that word, moist. Moist.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
Was there nuts in there?
I'm going to fold some nuts in a second.
You're going to put some nuts in there, okay?
Yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to get this last little bit of cake off the mix.
What nuts will you put in there?
I've got some cashews and some almonds, which would be lovely.
Oh, almonds is nice, isn't it? Well, don't you put almonds? Oh, I can see the picture.
Cashews.
Almonds on top.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a second. That's part of the decoration if you want to do that. Alright, so again, just getting all this mixture. It's, you know, I choose to do this in the bowl because it's really tight. It's quite heavy. And the Thermomix will struggle with such a big quantity.
Yeah, pine nuts would be nice, like Christina's idea.
Pine nuts?
Pine nuts, yeah. It's Christmassy, isn't it? Pine.
Yeah, I guess so.
Whatever.
Whatever. No, I haven't finished. Whatever nuts you have in the pantry. Whatever you think you might like to do. So that, can you see how that's all come together really quite nicely? Okay.
It's moist. It's very moist.
True. Alright, so final little tasting for me. And this has been really naughty today.
You're so good. Another clean spoon.
So much, because we're not the only ones that will eat this over Christmas. So much flavour. Cocoa's now coming through. All these beautiful things. Right, just going to grab some nuts.
Yeah, sorry, Monica. She loaded this on the wrong Facebook page. She's been in Sydney for the last 3 days, and so she's had a too many gin and tonics, I think.
So just chopping up a few nuts to pop into here.
What's the weather like where everyone is? In Gold Coast, it is pouring down. It is Prosecco and good movie time.
We're going to watch a Die Hard movie this afternoon.
And I picked up some nice pink Prosecco. I don't know if we've tried pink Prosecco.
So we're looking for about 100 grams of nuts.
I say, I'm still sort of just digesting this, but just digesting the flavours in my mouth. This is just so full of flavour. It is, apart from being moist, it's like an explosion in your mouth of flavours.
So I just want to, I won't be chunky. I want people to know the nuts are there. So I'm just chopping a little bit.
So everyone who's just joined, again, apologies for
my boo-boo.
Claire's boo-boo, but she will post this video on a Thermi Facebook page.
As soon as I've finished here, I will actually post that. So nuts going through, and then the final step is just to mix them through, and then it's ready to go in. So I'm going to get a couple of cakes out of this because I'm using a slightly smaller one, and that's good. So you could make small cakes with this, larger cakes, whatever you want to do. All right, so that's good. Oh, it looks amazing. And then that now is going to go into...
So that is going to go into that?
No.
I don't think so.
As I said, because I've used a different tin, I'm using I'm going to be doing a couple. So we don't want to fill it all the way up. It will rise a little bit.
Can you make small ones? Will it still work? Like
I will be making
individual ones?
In the little tiny spring form tins that Thermomix, that some of you might have. I'm going to be making some generous mini ones for gifts. But this will be fine because there's only the boys coming for Christmas this year.
Robin, I agree with you. I'm not a great fan of Christmas cake or fruit cakes either. I just probably because as a child I think I was abused by them because they put so much peel in there, citrus peel. I hate peel, and you bite into them and you've got to try and find the peel. But trust me, as someone who doesn't like fruit cake, this is beautiful. This really is good.
Yeah, it is good. And of course, you know, you don't have to put things in there that you don't like. You put your family's favourite things in. So just have a little look there, guys. And then what you want to do is just...
So you're about 1 centimetre from the top of the tin.
Yeah, but I've got the collar there to pick up the rise. I've wet my hand, and what I'm going to do now is just level this off. If you're using the Thermomix 20 centimetre tin, you will be able to use your angled spatula. So you can see how that's all nice and straight. Now, if you do not plan to decorate this, what you can actually do is put some whole blanched almonds on top now in a circular pattern, which is very traditional.
Just
like
your
my picture there.
photograph,
I did that one a few years back, so you can do it similar to that. But I am going to be icing and decorating this, so I don't want this to go. So smooth on top, looks beautiful, Andrew, yeah? Okay, and that will now go into my preheated oven, and it will go in for between 3 and 3/4 hours.
I wish people could just smell the aroma in this kitchen now. It is so fruity.
I'm going to add in, I'm going to make some little cakes up with the remainder. But if you want a bigger cake, this will obviously be enough for a beautiful big cake. So a couple of things. So about a week before Christmas is when I start the decoration. So if you plan to do that, just
well, I mean, we can't eat this until Christmas.
No.
Well, we can eat the small ones, can't we?
No. If you plan to decorate it, I will take you on that journey. So I love to marzipan it, and then a few days later I ice it with fondant. And I'll talk to you all about that as we head towards Christmas. But if you don't plan to do that, basically put the almonds on top, tie a ribbon around it, and it looks beautiful. So a couple of questions that often people ask me is, when do they know it's ready? My oven, I know when it's going to be ready, but yours, you know, everyone's oven is different. So a good way to tell is the old cake test. You know, you pop your cake in, your cake skewer in. I prefer to use a knife, I always have done. Often you get little crevices in the surface. Pop your knife into one of those crevices and count to 5. Then gently pull it out. Sometimes I find using a skewer, it's really hard to tell on that tiny little thing whether there's any moistness still in there. That's the word again, Andy. So I love to test it with a small knife, much more so than a skewer. You've got your finger test. You should just gently pop down and it should pop up nicely. If it stays down, it needs more cooking. But there is also another test, and it relates to the new update everyone's had with their TM6. We know the TM6 keeps getting better. More and more is being added on. And you probably noticed the software update regarding the sensor. I am really excited about this sensor because it takes all the guesswork away. When is this Christmas cake going to be ready? So basically what you do is you can take a temperature. So for a traditional fruit cake, the temperature from memory is around 93 to 99 degrees centigrade, and that will tell you that the cake is cooked. So you can always stick a thermometer in. But the sensor is going to be linked to your Thermomix, and it's going to be very cool, and that's coming in early next year, so watch out for that.
So this is like a Bluetooth sensor, is it?
Yeah, it's a Bluetooth. It's very clever. And that's what we say, it's getting smarter and smarter. That's why you want to upgrade to a TM6.
So it's like the meter mate.
Kind of, yeah. But it does everything, you know, steaks and chicken and cakes and all that kind of stuff. And I think particularly with cakes it will be useful, because how often have you taken a cake out of the oven and it's not quite done? Or even that loaf of sourdough that hasn't quite got that last little bit finished. The other thing is, look, don't worry if your cake rises. All right, don't panic. We will, when we come to decorate it, we actually use the bottom of the cake as the top, so it's going to be nice and flat, and I'll tell you all about that later. If your cake rises, often it's to do with the temperature of the oven, but it's also, it can be because of the amount of raising agents that are used, and that's another telltale sign. So just don't panic about that, it's okay, don't worry. And I think that's about all. Any questions? Can anyone think of it? If you head off to my blog, I put a ton of information in there for you, a load of information. There's a whole section on knowing when your cake is ready to pull out of the oven. And then what will happen when you pull it out of the oven, you need to leave it in the tin for at least 20 minutes. Don't take it out of the tin before that. Then you put it onto a wire cooling rack, and then wait till it's totally cooled. And then what we're going to do is we're going to mature and feed that until Christmas. Now for me, what that means is every Sunday I will take my cake out, I will open up its packaging. So I tend to start off with greaseproof paper first, then an aluminium foil, then I do plastic wrap, you know, whichever way around you want to do, and then it goes into a cake tin in a dark spot in my pantry. And then each week I take it out and I will skewer tiny little holes on the top of the cake, and I will feed it with a couple of spoons of brandy. Okay, you could do it twice a week if you wanted, but you don't want to flood it. Before the first fold, when my cake is cold, I'm going to brush a bit of brandy on the top of it as well. So all of that is in my notes. And then you pop it away until Christmas and enjoy. Any questions?
So for those who didn't see the whole video, when are you going to post this on your...
I'm going to go right now and get that sorted out.
Because you've got a few people waiting to cook along.
Start cooking. Yeah, start cooking. But head to my blog, colettesthermykitchen.com. Pull off the recipe so you've got that in front of you, and everything we've done is on here, and you can then do it as you're watching back on the video. So I'm going to now download that video from the other page and transfer it across. So apologies for that, everyone. May just slip up. Okie dokie. Well, happy Christmas. Christmas has started. Have fun with all your baking, and I will see you next time. I'd love to see pictures of your cake as it comes out, and let me know how you're going. Thanks everybody. Bye for now.
Go on, have a swig of beer. You deserve it.
Oh, I know. I came back from Sydney with a bit of a cold. I'm a bit under the weather at the moment, but beer's okay.
You never told me that.
Not 100% at all, but never mind. Bye everybody.